All right. Should be up and running here now. Should be able to see charts and hear me. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 27th, 2022. Qs and SPY had the slight gap up this morning. If you're in the room, you traded the open with me, and as we discussed at the open, we do have a slight novice gap on the smaller time frames this morning. So ending there on Friday, we had a very bullish day with a very bullish end, and then we had a slight gap up this morning, right? And if you recall, the bias going into the open was slightly bearish to neutral. As we ended on Friday, not knowing that we'd get another gap up on Monday, I said, we'll probably get a slight narrow range on Monday because we've had quite a move up, quite the bounce. Okay, and then the question going into this week is we're going to find out, do we have some kind of bottom in the market? Okay, is it going to be enough to get this downtrend that we've been in for 4 or 5 months? Is it going to finally slow down, go sideways, or even break up, back up to the upside? Okay, and the way that we're going to be gauging that is based on the daily sell setup, which we expect to form this week. Okay, so what I said Friday, I expect Monday, maybe a doji bar, narrow range bar. We may even move up a little bit more first, but we're waiting to see what happens when we break a previous bar's low. And you can see on the Qs here, right? Green bar, green bar, green bar, green bar. Finally getting a red bar here. So that does give us some indication that tomorrow we may get the break below, right, a previous bar's low. Okay, I didn't expect it to be today. It would have had to have been either a really big sell-off or a really decent-sized gap down for us to break the previous bar's low, basically Friday's low. So I was expecting we may get it as early as Tuesday. Okay, and so that's still the plan. All right, going into tomorrow, underneath today's low, we're going to go back to bearish. Okay, what kind of follow-through we get from there, all right, will give us some indication of whether or not this downtrend has gotten to where it wants to go. Okay, and we've been keeping an eye on this weekly. We talked about how it's very close to that weekly 200, almost just stopped just shy of it. Okay, and so there is some support there. All right, but for now, we don't really have the indication yet that the bottom is in. We would have to fail on the sell setup. All right, and so we'll get more info as the week goes on. So a little bit more of a pause here, neutral day, slight gap up, and then got slow. You see the market SPY there down about 0.5%, Q's down about 1%. Okay, so going into tomorrow, neutral, unless we break today's low, underneath today's low, then we will be bearish. Okay, if we do break today's low and turn right back around or come back up to the top, right, either take it out or start to base at it, maybe even break back above before the end of the week, that'll be more indication that the bottom may be in here, at least for the time being. Okay, so that's what we'll be watching for. So pretty critical pivot here that the market is trying to form. Okay, so far it's what we are looking for coming into today, and we may get more info tomorrow on whether or not we still have another leg down in the immediate future. Okay, we can take a look at some of the trades from today. A lot of small little scalps here because the issue this morning, if you were trading with me this morning, I said I'm going to stay out of the way of a lot of these big gap ups, and we had quite a few of them that were, so you see this AGRX had a huge gap, AFIB another really big gap from a percentage standpoint. I think, yeah, this one doubled. And so I was going to stay out of the way of them. And I think that was the right thing to do. There was just, too much trouble with these really big gap ups, even if they look really good, which this one actually looked pretty decent at first, right? You can see it tried to break above and then got sold. And actually, I guess, got sold for the rest of the day pretty much, giving the gap almost entirely back, only up 11 cents now after gapping up as much as it did. So what did I play? We did do the NCMI this morning. NCMI as a short wasn't too bad. All right, it was a good level 2 play on the NCMI this morning. CORZ was okay. Just got a little bit flippy there as we got to lunch. But again, you can see kind of nice controlled moves initially, and then you can see it did flip here, and then actually could have played it long, okay, on the CORZ after the initial reversal. Had a nice move up from there. I know Sammy called that one out. Joined him on that one. DTIL as well. Yeah, I got a little bit of follow through on the DTIL. Just noticed the momentum here. Tried it a couple times on the DTIL, moving up. Just got couple pennies there on this DTIL. Got a little shake out there. So that again was just based off the level 2. And then the only thing that didn't really work, but I also just didn't really trade it all that well, although I'm kind of fine with it, is the CIDM. Here's the CIDM. Was looking like it was going to break over 71. So I played it probably a little bit too early, thinking that I was going to break. Here's the 2-minute. Eventually did get more follow through there to the upside, but I didn't replay it. So I lost a little bit on this one because, with the highs getting higher, like the shakeout, I bought it in anticipation of the break of 71, but then lost half a penny when it came in. So yeah, a lot of kind of little small winners, 1/2 a penny loss on that. And, that was kind of the day for me. I think there were some other things here and there that were really, really nice. A lot of them, unfortunately, were not available. I mean, Birds was not available. There were some other ones this morning, which once I come across them and they're not available, unless they go like this Birds did, I kind of just, don't let them get to me and don't pay them too much mind, because there's, no point really. Because if, it's not available, it's not available. So I'm not going to spend too much time watching it or being distracted by it. So, kind of like Friday, Friday we did have the camp, which I think the camp got some decent follow through right at the open as well. Yeah, came in some more. I didn't think we had that high of a quality gap today. All the gap ups were either too big or too thin or both. And then we didn't really have good gap downs. I think DWAC was okay, but then I don't think this ended up really going anywhere. Yeah, see, it ended up being a pretty narrow bar. So we didn't really have the gap, the, tier 1 gap to focus on like we did on Friday. Okay, so just a bunch of little scalps here and there. All right. Hopefully things pick up, though, as the week goes on. We're not too far off from earnings season, although still got to be patient. Okay. All right, and then we'll get more insight into the market's next move. All right. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.